The greatest you to the fans. I don't know if I'm trying too hard to find subtext or I'm looking for meaning where there is none. Thus, I end up creating my own to satisfy my need to prop this film up. But I believe the true meaning of this film is the criticism of fans trying to define every new Spider-Man by past iterations. The meaning of canon. Think of it as a box. As a fan, if I restrict myself to this box, I love Tobey Maguire's Spider-Man. And then when I'm given a new and different Spider-Man, I rebel. Once again, I'm given a new, different Spider-Man. I reject it. My inability to accept that every new Spider-Man is allowed to be different creatively is obviously affecting the way I see these movies. If at all one Spidey suit doesn't resemble the one from the comics, I mark it as inaccurate and not worth my time. Because I've put up Christopher Reeve's Superman as the gold standard. If my Henry Cavill doesn't do everything my Christopher Reeves did, then I don't want him. The reason why Zack Snyder's DCEU didn't resonate with me was because of this box. Everything was starkly different from what I was expecting, and instead of trying to understand this new iteration of the character, I immediately rejected it. Despite Jared Leto's Joker being a different version, he was still compared to multiple versions and deemed the worst. But honestly, he was the one that was creatively different from anything that we've seen before. But because his actions and looks are not canon, this version never stood a chance. I'm pointing out multiple instances that you cannot deny have been in people's conversations over these movies. Marvel is facing the current problem of adapting storylines from the comics, then turning them into live action for the MCU or otherwise. But people/fans are failing to distinguish the MCU and the comics are two separate entities. Why are we still governing the MCU over stories from the comics when Marvel is still trying to tell its own, still trying to define itself creatively? I will not accept this character because he or she is a different skin color than the one from the comics. Miles was coming into his own as a character in this film, and finally he was becoming a proper Spider-Man according to his own definition. That line,
everyone keeps telling me how my story is supposed to go. Nah, I'ma do my own thing.
Honestly gave me goosebumps. But don't get me wrong, we still need to call out bad films, hypocritical casting, and studio meddling. There is still the distinction between the two lines. Just from now on, it might be a bit hard for me to exactly do that or see through them.